Hey, we are back, and in this video I'm going to take you through my entire filming and editing process that I use to make YouTube videos, Reels, Shorts, TikToks. And it's the new process I've been using as I've been playing with pushing out a lot more video content. I'm going to walk you through my hardware, going to walk you through my software, going to walk you through my entire Adobe Premiere editing process, where I get my little assets, where I get my little GIFs and memes and things that I've been throwing in, my sound effects, my music tracks, all of it. I'm going to walk you through every little bit of that process, and we're going to edit a reel inside of this video. Let's do it. All right, let's do hardware first, and then I'll take you through the software. First things first, I'm shooting with a Sony ZV-E10 camera that is connected directly to my computer through an Elgato cam link that is an HDMI to USB input, and this is a little dongle that converts it from HDMI or USB 3 to USB-C. So that's what I have for my camera. This microphone on top is a Rode VideoMic Pro Plus, but it's not recording the audio because I haven't hit record on the camera. I just record the camera directly into Ecamm Live, which is my software that I'm using on my computer. So Ecamm Live records my video and audio, and my audio is coming through this Shure MV7 microphone that is connected via USB into my laptop as well. My laptop is an M1 Pro Max that I got a few years ago when that version very first came out, the Pro Max line. Okay, my microphone and my camera are connected on these boom arms to my desk. And what else do we use here? I got a Elgato Stream Deck, which we'll use when we switch inside of the video editing part to show the screen, share the screen. I can just do that with the click of a button like this, and we can share the app that I'm going to use, which is Premiere, Adobe Premiere, to edit this video. Okay, got my camera, got my audio, got my Ecamm Live, got my Elgato cam link, so everything's connected and running into my computer, and I hit record in Ecamm Live. That's what's recording the screen right now. Okay, let me show you how I do my overlays and things, and this is a little unconventional for those of you that are way into video editing, but I use Adobe InDesign to set up the flow of my content. And I do this for my YouTube videos and for my Reels and Shorts and stuff. So what I have on my screen right here is Adobe InDesign, and I have the file open for the next reel that I'm going to create. And this one I'm calling Bad Price Yields Bad Client. Now on here I have a little background shot of me in my office that I use just to test my overlays and stuff. So if you see here, right here, I have this set to be semi-transparent to go to be able to view me moving in the background. And then I have my grids set to know that this is the square line of the preview. I'll show you that here. This is the square for the preview square in Instagram. That's going to be this space right here. The rest of this will show as a reel in full screen format. So I intentionally keep my text at the level so that it shows up inside of my square section here. And I put the text on my first slide, about my first maybe 3 seconds of my video, and I put it on here so that I don't have to make a thumbnail for my reels. I just want to build it right into the design of my reels. So this one, I decided to call it Bad Price Yields Bad Client. That's the reel that I'm going to shoot here in a second. Now, when I scroll down, I have other slides that are 1080 by 1920, and that's the size screen that you have for your phone. Anyway, vertical format of HD. And right here are the little graphics that I'm going to speak about in the reel itself. So this is what I'm going to talk about: client annoyance and client price and your happiness level. That's what we're going to run through on here, and the correlation between those things. So that's what I'm going to edit together. And I do this, and when I set to record, which if I turn this off right now and changed from sharing my screen to just the camera, I could record the video, which I'm just going to launch right into that right here. So this section, I showed you how I set up those slides. What I see on the screen right now are my slides, and I'm going to speak about those slides. I'm going to pause intentionally in between thoughts, and then I'm going to crop out my unspoken sections using a little piece of software that I discovered called Jump Cut Pro or something like that in Premiere. So we're going to take a look at that here in a second. So I'm going to turn back on my camera to full screen. This is shooting in 4K through my Sony ZV-E10, which is recording into my computer directly. And this is how I record a reel or a YouTube video. I do the exact same process here. And I sit back a little bit from my screen so that when I'm cropping this, I have room above my head to be full screen vertically. But then on a YouTube version, since I'm shooting in 4K, I can zoom in a little bit and get myself framed up there. So I sit back a little bit. I make sure that my microphone is good distance. This is like 12 inches or 9 inches, something like that. So I speak right here, and I know that that's a good volume level for my microphone. And now I'm just going to launch in and record as if I'm recording the reel, which I actually am recording the reel right now. Here we go. There is a direct correlation between what you're charging the client and what your happiness level is with the client. Okay, I'm going to scratch that one, and I'm going to redo that. Sometimes you think you have a bad client, but what you really have is a bad price. I like that intro better, so I'm going to stick with that. There's a direct correlation between the annoyance level of the client, the price you're charging them, and your happiness level. If you look here, we got an annoying client. They're on level 6 annoying, and they're on level 1 price. Let's say that they're super annoying and you're charging them $20 an hour. Well, you're not going to be happy with that client at all. But if you see that you have an annoying client and they're level 6 annoying, but you're charging them $1 million an hour, level 6 price, you're going to be a lot happier. In fact, you're probably not going to be a level 4 happy. You're probably going to be a level 5 happy because you're charging the client so much. Now, if the client's not annoying and you're charging them a high price, you're going to be super happy about that. If the client is moderately annoying at a moderate price, you're still going to be moderately happy with that option too. I have people come to me sometimes and they're like, oh, I got this super annoying client. And I ask them how much money. I have some people come to me and they say, oh, I have this super annoying client. And I ask them, would you be annoyed by this client if you were charging them $1 million an hour? And they always sit back and think, no, I wouldn't. I'd just deal with it. And that's the way that it is. It's a bright recollection. And that's the way that it is. If you are frustrated by your client, there is a almost certainty that you are not charging them enough money. So bump up the price, and if they go away, you're happy. And if they pay it, you're happy. Either way, you're going to be happy. Don't be afraid to bump up those prices for those annoying clients after you start working with them. It's okay. Sometimes you price them out. Or you can charge them enough to deal with the annoyance that they are to you. Okay, so that's the end of that recording. That gives me all the little segments that I need from this video to be able to create my edit. And I'll show you that process here in a second. After I am done with my slides and after I record, I'll move myself off of these spots in InDesign. Like you can see here, taking all these off. And then I'm going to export these as PNGs. So I'm going to go here to export, and I'm going to go into my happiness correlation to price. It's an InDesign doc. I'm going to set it to PNG right here, and then I'm going to click save, and then I'm going to put it at maximum quality, 72 DPI, transparent background. That's what I want to make sure I have set on it. And then I'm going to click, and anti-aliasing turned on it also. Then I'm going to click export, and it is going to drop into my folder the files that I need right in, here we go, right in to my Reels folder, happiness, and you can see those PNGs right here with the transparent background. And these will be the little shots that, or the little overlays that I put on top of my video that I'm going to export out of here. Okay, let's go into Premiere and edit this thing. Okay, here we go. We're going to jump into Premiere and edit this reel. First thing I'm going to do is share my screen using Ecamm Live. I just clicked the button on the Stream Deck to show my screen here. I've been loving Ecamm Live. I haven't used it a ton because I'm still figuring out how to put it into my workflow. This is actually the first kind of real big screen share thing that I've done. All right, I'm going to go into Premiere and I'm going to click on the new project, and then I'm going to choose location, and the location for the new project is my reel folder that is happiness correlation to price. And I'm going to choose that folder, and then I'm going to go up here and give it a name up in the top left, which is reel bad client, bad price. Bad price yields bad client. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to leave that as the title because I'll change that when we upload it. Okay, now I have in here my Premiere, my blank Premiere document. I'm going to go and create a new sequence. Down on the bottom, I'm just going to choose the default, which is DSLR 1080p, 30 frames per second. And then I'm going to paste into here the content from my other reel. When I shot myself talking for this reel, I pasted that into this. Usually you would have a file that you're going to drag and drop and put into there or import in, but this was just an easy way to do it for me for this view. Okay, now the first thing I do here is I'm going to level my audio, and we're going to take the audio and make it, it's usually about increase of 5 decibels or so from my microphone. That is the number that I do. So 5 decibels, the audio is boosted on all of this. And your happiness level. We can hear that. Then I'm going to go up here to my sequence settings, and I'm going to change from 1920 by 1080 to 1080 by 1920 because this is going to be a reel. And it says changes to the preview file format or to the frame size require all preview files to be deleted. The operation cannot be undone. I haven't done anything, so I'm going to click OK. And now you can see that because I was shooting in 4K, my sizing works out just right. I have a couple of grid lines on here just to keep myself honest in the sizing. And one of them that I want to worry about is my square section, which I think is at 1540. Is my number that I want to have there. So this right here, interior section, is my square. Let's see, 1920 divided by 2 is 1920 divided by 2. Get out with my freaking calculator. 1920 divided by 2 is 960, and then you divide that by 2, you have 480. And then I minus 1920, and it gives me 1440. 1440 is where this grid line should be. 1440 right there. Okay, so now this interior section is the square that will be the preview for this video. Okay, so now I have my raw video down here. I have my audio leveled, and I'm ready to go in and make my jump cuts. The other thing that you would do here typically is go into the video file itself. Up here on the top left, if you click on Effects Controls and go over one from where it is. Right now I'm in the Effects Controls for the sequence. I want to be in the Effects Controls for this MP4 video that I imported, this Ecamm Live video. And I put into this a Lumetri color. I did that from the Effects section right here. You can just type in Lumetri color, and you'll find this, and I can just drop that into this section over here. I'm going to clear that right now. And Lumetri color gives me the ability to modify my setup, like my contrast right here. I have it -24. I could increase the contrast to 150, and obviously doesn't look good there. So this is where you would go in and color correct your video, -24. My lens and my camera do a pretty good job. I don't have to mess with this too much. Occasionally I'll fix the exposure like I did here. I think I had to increase the exposure a bit. Yeah, so I'm at 1.5. I had to increase the exposure because my original video was a little bit dark. I shot it at night in my studio or my office here, and I didn't have any light coming in from the windows or anything. Anyway, so you can play with the colors and adjust that. There's tons of videos about color correction of video, so you can just look for that on YouTube. That's not going to be what we're going to dig into here. I usually just make some minor adjustments anyway. Another adjustment I'm going to make on the entire video sequence is I'm going to select the sequence, and then I'm going to move myself over a little bit. You can see that I'm a little off center on the original, and now I'm centered. Oh, now see, now I'm over here too, moving back and forth on this video. So I'm going to move it just a little bit more this way and see, just scrubbing through. Okay, that looks right. I'm going to stick with that as my centering for this video of myself. Okay, now here's a little app that I use to make my jump cuts. I did a lot of research for this. I used to just go in and zoom in on my things and go in and make cuts, cut, and delete the things. And I'll still adjust things a bit, but it's so much faster with this little app. I think I pay $20 a month for it or something. It's called AutoPod Jump Cut Editor. I'll put a link down in the description. AutoPod Jump Cut Editor, and it gives you the ability to make automatic jump cuts based on the decibel level that you want to cut out. So I put in here, the default is 50. I'm going to put 40 decibels, and then I'm going to click Create Jump Cuts. Now, because my video is on frame 1, it's going to go and analyze this video, find all the dead spots, and then cut them out. So we're just going to automatically do that. And click this. We wait a second, and then here come the cuts. Boom, 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 boom. And you can see down here on the bottom, now we have jump cuts, and we just took what was we're a 2-minute long video now. I'm going to cut a bunch of stuff out of this. Level 6 price. Okay, so we got a bunch of jump cuts in there. The very first one, there is a direct correlation between what you're charging the client and what your happiness level is with the client. Okay, now you remember I said I was going to cut that one out if you watched that part of the video. So I cut that one. This is just me talking. I'm going to cut that. Sometimes you think you have a bad client, but what you really have is a bad price. Okay, and that's my hook. That's the one I'm going to use as my hook. I'm going to trim just the back end of this just a little, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go to my Finder, and we're going to open up inside of my drive. I'm going to go and open the file, the folder that has the InDesign document PNGs that I made. So in here, happiness correlation to price. So these are my PNGs that we made in InDesign. And I'm going to drag my title onto here and have that be in this first segment right here. You can see that now that overlay just fits perfectly right on there because my sizing of my InDesign file is perfect to what this video is going to render. And you can see here too, like you can see me through this dark section. I did this so that the text would pop, but I still wanted to have it overlay so that it looks, you know, it's a little bit of a sunglasses look where you can kind of see through it.
Bad client, but what you really have is a bad price.
Okay, so bad price yields bad client. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this next little section nudged up to it.
That intro better.
Okay, this is just me talking, so I'm going to delete that section. Stick with that. Delete this section. That was me talking. There's a direct correlation between the annoyance level of the client, the price you're charging them, and your happiness level. Okay, so that's a statement, and I'm going to make an extra cut there. I want to have that be called out, and I'll show you what we'll do with those sections here in a second. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to cut out this little jump cut section right here that jump cut AutoPod jump cut editor didn't grab. And I'm going to go in and make this spot a little tighter. I make these jump cuts inside the reels just as tight as I can. You got to make sure you're not cutting off like the end of an S or a T or something, or a D at the end of a sentence. So you've got to listen to it. You can't just trust the AutoPod thing completely. But direct correlation
gets
between
it all started.
The annoyance level of the client, the price you're charging them, and your happy. Okay, so we have three things that I'm saying here, and that'll be a highlight, a call out to me of three things. Okay, I could do three different little memes in between. There. This is the first one. The annoyance level of the client. The annoyance level of a client is the first one. So I'm gonna pull that up just so that I remember that I want to put a little meme there. The price you're charging them. The price you're charging them. I'm gonna pull that up.
Happiness level.
And your happiness level. So I'm going to move all three of those up, and that's the way that I just remember that those are spots that I want to put in a little meme section. All right, then we go to this.
Look here, we got an annoying client there.
Okay, so this is me talking about one of the PNGs. So I'm going to go back to my thing right here and bring in that PNG of me talking about the annoying client level 6.
Here, we got an annoying client. They're on level 6 annoying, and they're on level 1 price. Let's say that they're super annoying and you're charging them $20 an hour. Well, you're not going to be happy with that client at all.
Okay, here's another little spot that it didn't grab that I'm going to cut out my pause there.
You see that you have an annoying client, and they're level 6 annoying, but you're charging them $1 million.
Okay, so this is the next statement. I'm going to grab the next little PNG and drop it in here. And let's see, right here,
with that client at all. But if you see that you have an annoying client, and they're level 6 annoying, but you're charging them $1 million an hour.
Okay, level 6 annoying. This is where I'm going to make a cut.
Annoying, but you're
level 6 annoying.
Client, they're
all right, right here is we're going to bring it in. And I'm going to make a cut there just so that
they're
I know
level
that
6
that's where I can
annoying,
play with stuff.
But you're charging them $1 million an hour. Level 6 price, you're going to be a lot happier.
All right.
In fact, you're probably not going to be a level 4 happy. You're probably...
Okay, this is where I changed the price, the happiness level while I was shooting the video. And so I talked about it being a level 4 happy and changed it to a level 5. So I got to go back into my InDesign document and make another little chart that has a level 4 happy so that I can swap that out inside the video. I can make a cut there. So I'm going to click OK, contains 5 missing files, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take this one and duplicate it down here, go down to it, and then I'm going to make this level 4 because that's what I was talking about in the video. I'm going to re-export these and replace all Click OK. Apply to all. Yes, I'm going to replace all those images. And now we'll see that I have a new image inside here. Whoops. I have a new image inside here that is a level 4 happy. So that's what actually goes here. And then a level 5 happy is what it changes to in the audio. So if I go here, let's see. They're level 6 annoying, but you're charging them $1 million an hour. Level 6 price, you're going to be a lot happier. Okay, you're going to be a lot happier. In fact, you're probably not going to be a level. You're not going to be a level 4 happy. You're probably going to be a level 5. So I change that so that I get this little animation that happens from one PNG to the next. It's not me doing a bunch of After Effects stuff or anything. I'm just changing out this as a PNG. It makes it easier for me, and I know InDesign so well that I can create these little graphics so easily. You're probably going to be a level 5 happy because you're charging the client. Use whatever software works best for you. Now, if the client's not annoying, okay, so the client is not annoying, and I'm going to cut out this little pause right here. Now, if the client is not annoying, so let's see what graphic we have for this. Client is not annoying. And let's see what it says. And you're charging them a high price, you're going to be super happy. Okay, you're going to be happy with that, about that. If the client, okay, I'm going to cut out that. See, you're going to be super happy about that. I don't need that little spot. We want to keep these reels as short as we can. So I'm going to cut that part out where I say about that. So you're going to be super happy. Okay, and then we go into the next one. And if the client is moderately annoying, which is this graphic, client is moderately annoying. So we're going to price, you're going to be super happy. If the client is moderately annoying at a moderate price, you're still going to be moderately happy. Okay, I don't need whatever this says after with that option too. All right, so I'm going to kill that. And then I have people come to me sometimes and they're like, oh, I got this super annoying client. And I ask them, okay, I'm going to go how much money. I have some people come to me. Okay, so this was a reshot section. I'm going to delete that one and go to the reshot. I have some people come to me and they say, oh, I have this super annoying. Okay, now something I like to do here when I talk for a client and they say, oh, I like to change my graphic there. So I'm going to change it. Oh, I have right here. Make a super annoying client, and I okay, annoying client. Okay, and I ask them. Okay, so I'm going to do a change in my graphics there. So here I'm making cuts. And would you be annoyed by this client if you were charging them $1 million an hour? Okay, would you be annoyed if you're charging them $1 million an hour? Right? And they always sit back and think, no, I wouldn't. I'd just deal with it. Okay, so I'm going to pull that up. And that's somebody talking. $1 million and that's dollars an hour. And they always sit back and think, no, I wouldn't. I'd just deal with it. And that's the way that it is. It's a bright recollection, and that's the stupid one. So I changed that, go back to here. And that's the way that it is. If you are frustrated by your client, there is a almost certainty that you are not charging them enough money. So bump up the price, and if they go away, you're happy. And if they pay it, you're happy. Either way, you're going to be happy. All right. There, I'm going to cut out whatever is at the end of that. So now I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to see what my length is. So we've got a reel now that is it's 1 minute 23 seconds long. I have to make that shorter so that it can fit as a YouTube short, which still has a 60-second timeline. So I got to cut out 23 seconds of stuff in here before I go and start doing my main edits. So let's see what we can cut out. I'm going to listen
Sometimes
again.
you think you have a bad client, but what you really have is a bad price. There's a direct correlation between the annoyance level of the client, the price you're charging them, and your happiness level. If you look here, we got an annoying client.
So that whole first intro, I don't need that. I'm going to delete that, and we're going to just jump right into the conversation.
If you look here, we got an annoying client. They're on level 6 annoying, and they're on level 1 price. Let's say that they're super annoying and you're charging them 20 bucks an hour. Well, you're not going to be happy with that client at all. But if you see that you have an annoying client and they're level 6 annoying, but you're charging them $1 million an hour, level 6 price, you're going to be a lot happier. In fact, you're probably not going to be a level 4 happy. You're probably going to be a level 5 happy because you're charging the client so much. Now, if the client's not annoying and you're charging them a high price, you're going to be super happy. If the client is moderately annoying at a moderate price, you're still going to be moderately happy. I have some people come to me and they say, oh, I have a super annoying client, and I ask them, would you be annoyed by this client if you were charging them $1 million an hour? And they always sit back and think, no, I wouldn't. I'd just deal with it. And that's the way that it is.
Okay, so we're at a minute right there. So if I go and cut this stuff back here, we're at
I'd
just
deal with it.
Man, that's the reel right there. So I'm at 59 seconds.
Sometimes you think you have a bad client, but what you really have is a bad price.
Without the ending.
I'd just deal with it.
All right. So there we go. That's the reel. I don't have room for this. I'm going to keep it to 60 seconds or less. This one is going to be 60 seconds. I'm going to move this stuff back here. And then I'm going to start zooming in and making my little things that make my reels mine. And it's all these little edity things. So the first one I use is a lot of whips. And I'm going to move right here the title, and I'm going to go and take it and put in a whip transition right here. So I just do a search for video transitions and take a whip. And then I'm going to go, what I like about this is it blurs it and whips it in, and then I can make it whip out as well. So now this one starts in, but I'm going to whip it out, and I make it go super fast. So this is a bad price. That just whips out at the end. And then I'm going to go into a file that I have set up, a folder of all the common sound effects that I use and overlays and stuff. So if I go to that folder, I have my common lo-fi VHS kit thing. And this right here is where I have most of the stuff that I use frequently. One of those is Whip Crack 2. And another one that I use a lot is these whooshes. And these whooshes are pretty common, you'll find in my content. So for this one, I'm going to take these whooshes, I'm going to make the biggest whoosh, and I'm going to put that sound effect right here on this whip. So if I go here,
bad price.
Okay, so it just whips out.
If you look here,
now this, let's see, what do I want to do with this? I could whip it in, but I don't want my reel to get so whippy all the time. So I'm going to instead dissolve it in and just do a cross dissolve. So with no sound effect, I'm just going to let that dissolve in right here. So we got
look here, we got an annoying client. They're on level 6 annoying.
Okay, so here's something that I need. I want to have stuff happening in every little part of the video that I can. And one of the things that I have in my kit here is this arrow that I use a lot. And you can see that this arrow, I'm going to put it on here.
We got an annoying client. They're on level.
Okay, here's level 6 annoying. So I'm going to take my arrow and I'm going to rotate it by 90 degrees. Nope, it's going to be 270. 270, yep. Okay, so now my little arrow, I can have it point to this annoying client, and then I'm going to change that arrow for every one of these when I start talking about it, and then I'm going to put a sound effect on that so that it goes bink, bink, bink as I talk. So here we go. Client is at annoying level 6.
Level 6 annoying, and they're on level 1.
Level 1 price. So I'm going to make a little edit here and move the arrow right to the center. So now the arrow goes from there to there.
Level 1 price. Let's say that they're super annoying and you're charging them
super annoying, charging
$20 an hour.
20 bucks an hour. Now I can do that too. Always want to have stuff showing up. So 20 bucks an hour is something I can have showing up. I'm going to put in a dollar amount here, 20 per hour. And I'm going to go and into my graphics and make that match my brand, which is Helvetica Now. Probably use extra black on this one. I'm probably going to make it my yellow, which is FFCC00, and then click OK. And I'm going to make it a little bigger. I'm going to center it. I'm going to center it here and center it here. So that is my number. And 20 bucks an hour, I say right about, let's see, they're super annoying and you're charging them 20 bucks an hour. That's this section right here, 20 per hour. Okay, so now I have that, and now I need to move that down below my arrow. But I also have to keep in mind where my subtitle is going to be on this. So I'm just going to move it to just right here below the arrow.
Annoying and you're charging them 20 bucks an hour. Well, you're not going to be happy with that client at all. But if you see that you have an annoying client and they're level 6.
Okay, so you're not going to be happy. So I've got to extend this to here. You're not going to be happy.
You're not going to be happy with.
You're not going to be happy.
Well, you're not going to be happy.
So I'm going to say, I don't need this, whatever it says afterwards. I say something like, with this client at all, I can get rid of that stuff.
You're not going to be happy, but if you see that.
See? So now I didn't really lose
Well, you're not going to be
anything
happy.
there. You're not going to be happy. Now I just need to make a cut for my arrow. Oops. And move my arrow over to the last part right here. Okay. So now I have this little section right here.
Look here, we got an annoying client. They're on level 6 annoying, and they're on level 1 price. Let's say that they're super annoying and you're charging them 20 bucks an hour. Well, you're not going to be happy, but if you see that you have an annoying client and they're level.
Okay, so now we've got this going good here. So we're at this first one. I can put in my sound effects now. So the first sound effect I'm going to add to this is click select. So let's put a click select. I use this sound effect a lot too. And we're going to put it inside of all of these arrow
on level
spots.
6 annoying, and they're on level 1 price. Let's say that they're super annoying and you're charging them 20.
Now I need a sound effect for the $20 an hour. So I'm going to put in, I like this thud meaty that I use a lot as well. You've heard all these if you watch my content. So I'm going to go in. Now, if you see on this, I do some of this stuff too, where I'm going to cut out the beginning where there's a little bit of pause in that and have it hit right when my thing shows up, right when my $20 shows up.
20 bucks an hour. Well, you're not going to be happy, but if you see that you have an annoying client and they're level 6.
Okay, so now I know I've got all of these arrows already here. I'm going to duplicate them and just move them over. And we have
annoying, but you're
this client at level 6 annoying. So I know that this is already pointing to my
annoying, but you're charging them $1 million.
Okay, $1 million an hour. I'm going to change this and we're going to say 1 mil per hour. Let's see, 1 million. You can hear it in the vocal, so I'm just going to say 1 mil per hour. Well, I want it to look impactful, so I'm going to maybe do this. 1 million per hour, and then just make it smaller. That's what I'm going to do. 1 million per hour. Okay, so
It's annoying, but you're charging them $1 million an hour.
okay, $1 million an hour.
Level 6.
All right, level 6 price.
$1 an hour. Level 6. A lot happier.
You're going to be a lot happier.
In fact, you're probably not going to be a level 4 happy. You're probably.
Okay, I'm going to extend this arrow all the way over.
lot happier. In fact, you're probably not going to be a level 4 happy. You're probably going to be a level 5 happy because you're charging the client so much. Now, if the client's not annoying and you're charging them a high client is not annoying, so I got to bring my, before I do that, I'm going to take my click select and I'm going to drag it to every beginning of every one of these arrows. And then I'm going to take my thud meaty and put it where the price goes right here. And then, and I need one little sound effect when this little meter changes from 4 to a 5. So I'm going to grab, let's see what I have, grab modern click. And so this is just another little click sound. I like these little click sounds. It just all reminds me of being a kid watching freaking Brady Bunch. Client, they're level 6 annoying, but you're charging them $1 million an hour. Level 6 price, you're going to be a lot happier. In fact, you're probably not going to be a level 4 happy. You're probably going to be a level 5 happy because you're charging the client so much. Okay, so that's the flow of this one. We have these little changes that happen. Now, if the client's not annoying and you're charging... Okay, so the client's not annoying. Now we bring our arrows back over to this. So the client is not annoying. And you're charging... Okay, and then we're charging them. I'm going to adjust my arrow. Charging them a high price. You're going to be happy. So that's what this goes. Going to be super happy. If the client is all right, and then we're going to go here. Moderately annoying at a moderate price, you're still going to be so here and here and here. All right, and then extend this. Now I bring my clicks over those 3. So I already did that editing. I need them for here, and then I need them for the second part of this. Okay, got them there, and then I'm going to put those clicks here as well, and right here. Now, for my sound effects and stuff, moderately annoying at a moderate price, you're still going to be moderately happy. I have some people come to me and they say, I have this super annoying. Okay, for my sound effects, my overlays, my stock photos and things, I use... Envato Elements, and you can see Envato Elements here. I've got everything I need in here for these reels. So I would go in and find like a whip sound. So if I type whip, it's going to give me some whipped cream and stuff, but I have this sound effects section and I can have any of these whips that I use for my transitions, or clicks or beeps or whatever. Now, one of the things that I use in here is this overlay when people are talking. So when I'm talking for somebody else. So that's what's happening in this section. I'll show you how I do this. Some people come to me and they say, I have this super annoying client. Okay, so they say I had this super annoying client and I like to change this. And what I drag in is this signal distortion, and it's a little PNG or a little alpha channeled overlay. And because it's 1920 by 1080, so I have to make it bigger to fit my stuff. And then for me, down below this, I'm going to change myself to change out the saturation, make myself black and white right here. Say, I have this super annoying. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to make my audio change to old radio is what I use. And then because old radio is lower in volume, I have to up the clip 12, so I have to up my decibels. So I'm moving the camera here to be able to do that. So I'm going to up it to, let's say, 12.9. And let me test that and see. I have this super annoying client. Okay, so that works. They say, I have this super... That's good. And then what I bring in final on that is this static sound that I put faded back. So I brought in this static. I'm cutting it down to the length that I need. And then I'm going to drop the clip volume of that so that it doesn't overpower the audio of me talking. They say, I have this super... So there's my static. I'm going to down it just a tad more. They say, I have this super annoying client. And Okay, so now I have that in place. Now I can go and do the same thing for these clips. So I can go here. I know that this is me talking for somebody else. Ask them, would you be annoyed by this client? And now I'm going to change my, I'm going to copy the settings on this clip and I'm going to paste them onto both of these right here. So paste attributes. And then I'm going to copy my audio settings that have the old radio audio, and I'm going to click copy, and I'm going to paste both of those here. And now I have my black and white on both of these, and my static on this one. I got to make static on this one. And I have my and they say, oh, I have a super annoying client. And I ask them, would you be annoyed by this client if you were charging them $1 million an hour? And they always sit back and think, no, I wouldn't. I'd just deal with it. Okay, so that's the reel, and I come in at 58 seconds right here. Okay, the very final things that I do, 2 more steps. So I have all these little cuts in here. My last 2 steps, I look for places that I need more sound effects. Bad price. If you look, and I look for other little transition places. So right here, we have bad price yields bad client. If you look here, we got an annoying client. They're on level 6 annoying, and they're on level 1 price. Let's say that they're super annoying and you're charging them 20 bucks an hour. Well, you're not going to be happy, but if you see that you have an annoying... Okay, so right here, I have a spot that's just dead. There's nothing special happening here. And I have this whole run with me full screen. So I've been liking taking myself and adding little memes to those sections to make these a little more fun. And what I use for memes is this tenor.com. I just prefer the search over Giphy. I was using Giphy, but I kind of prefer the search. So what I'm going to do here, let's just look and see what's on. Are you sure about that? We got a beard guy on the front. Let's see, what do I say here? But if you see that you have an but if you see that you have an annoying client, so I'm going to type in C and see what shows up. See, oh, okay, so here we're going to take Pedro Pascal, where he sees you. I'm going to save this image as into my folder right here, my happiness price folder. Then I can go to that folder and I can grab the Pedro Pascal. Let me go find that folder again, opening another Finder window, going to my Reels and happiness price, and now we have the Pedro Pascal. So Pedro Pascal is going to be in this little segment. You can see that this GIF is too small for my size, and I can up that and it doesn't really do any damage to my reel. So here we have Pedro Pascal. He's looking at us. But if you see that you have an annoying client, they're level 6. So let's see where we want to cut this. We can cut a little bit off the front. I just need to make this a little shorter. That you have an annoying client. All right, so that's the spot. So I'm going to cut that. Now I have me down below Pedro Pascal, and I'm going to make my video smaller and size me or raise me up inside of the video here itself. So now this is the split, and I'll put my subtitles for this section right here in between. All right, so we got something interesting on what used to be dead. Well, you're not going to be happy, but if you see that you have an annoying client, now I'm going to go into this and look at myself. See, my head size compared to his is a little off, so it makes me look tiny. So I think I can be bigger in that section than where I had that edit at the first point. You have an annoying client. All right, so that's looking good. I'm going to find another spot that I need to add something. Now, if the client's not annoying, so let's go into tenor and see happy. See happy person, happy dance, client's not annoying, happy, 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 happy,
Client's not annoying. We're trying to find, okay, let's just take this little cat. Everybody loves these cat memes. So I'm gonna throw this in here, happy, pleased. And I'm gonna take the cat, which is now inside my folder. I saved it. And I'm gonna do the same thing here that I just did with that Pedro Pascal section, except I'm gonna make this, actually, this one I do sometimes too. I adjust the speed of the GIF. So I'm gonna right click on the GIF, click speed and duration, and I'm gonna make this 130% so that it goes faster. Now I don't have to cut off as much of that. And then I'm gonna increase the size of this. And because I did the other one with the GIF on the bottom, I'm gonna put the GIF on top of this one. I just wanna keep the surprises coming in the reel to keep it interesting. So I'm gonna size this down, and here we go. Now, if the client's not annoying and you're charging them, okay, so just a little cat to throw in there, and you're to keep it charging them a high price, you're going to be super happy. If the client is moderately annoying, let's go find something from Tenor. Let's say annoying. Let's just type in that and see what we get. I just wanna seriously, let's see. All right, so let's just grab this one from the top. Is this so many of these? I mean, it's just like anything. If you see it for a second, it just keeps the video interesting. So we've got mad annoyed, and this is going to be the client that's moderately annoying. And I'm going to take this one and move it up to the top right here, and then make myself a little smaller and move me down below. Okay, one question that you have is, are we allowed to use these memes and GIFs inside of videos? And there's a copyright clause about fair use. I'm not making money off of selling these. They're all over the internet. Everybody else is using them. They're only up for a second. There's some kind of legality that makes it okay to do it. So I've never been too concerned. I've never gotten blacklisted for using these. There are just freaking meme accounts that are just posting these all the time. So I don't think there's a risk in using those in your flow of content. At a moderate price, you're still going to be moderately happy. I have some people come to me and they say, oh, I have a super annoying client. Okay, so we got a couple. I'm just going to leave the end how it is with these. If you were charging them $1 million an hour? And they always sit back and think, no, I wouldn't. Okay, so that's it right there. And that's the reel. Sometimes you think you have a bad client. Sometimes I'll add in little swooshy transitions between me in different places, which I could do here. Let's do that on this just so you can see what that's like. I'm going to put in a whip transition between each of these sections right here. So we go from me
they
here.
Say, oh, I have a super.
So that little whip, and then I'm going to go and grab a whoosh sound effect from, I think we have one at the beginning right here, this whoosh sound. I'm going to go and stick it right here. Okay, so that's where my whip is, and then I'm going to whip in and out of these for each one. So I'm going to take my whip transition, make it smaller, shorter, and I'm going to throw my whip sound there, or my whoosh sound. I'm going to do it again here. I have 3 spots to do this. I'm going to throw in my whip there. I'm going to drag this over here and grab my whip sound right here. And I realize this video isn't for everybody, but somebody out there is wondering, hey, how can I up my game on Reels, Shorts, TikToks? I'm just showing you my process. You can use it or not use it, whatever you want to do.
Oh, I have a super annoying
so that
client.
little whooshy
them, would you be annoyed by this client if you were charging them $1 million an hour?
And they always sit back and think, see, this just adds a little blingy, little bling fast little thing to it. And I'll do that. You're going to be super happy on a lot of my content. Okay, final two things. I know I said two, but I meant three earlier. The final two things is I need a little indent audio. So if I go here to Envato Elements and I click on here logos and indents under the music section, I can go and find, let me turn off everything but the inspiring and uplifting ones. So let's just turn all these off. And let's just listen to this one.
Audio Jungle.
All right, that one, here's Sports
Audio
Drama.
Jungle.
That's not it.
Audio
Journey jingle logo. So that's what I'm going to take. It's 5 seconds long. I'm going to save it to my thing. Okay, some of these have an audio license, and I haven't been messing with that. So if it has that, I don't use it.
Audio Jungle.
Glitchy logo. Okay, I'm going to download this one, see if this one has a license issue. It doesn't. So that one just dropped down into my downloads folder. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to take it and put it into my folder for this reel. I'm going to take this glitchy logo audio, drop it into my Premiere file, and then I'm going to down the sound volume on it, click auto tag on here. I need my clip volume to go way down because I don't want it to compete with my audio. So this, I usually am somewhere around -20 on this. So let's see how this sounds. Sometimes you think you have a bad client, but what you really have is a bad price. If you look here, we got an annoying client. They're on level 6 annoying. Okay, so there's the intro little logo indent, and then I'll take sometimes the same exact file and I'll put it at the end, and then I'll click on here to speed and duration, and I'll just reverse it and maybe even speed it up. So let's make it 150% and maintain the audio pitch. So now it's shorter and it's reversed, and that'll be my outro audio. Ask them, would you be annoyed by this client if you were charging them $1 million an hour? And they always sit back and think, no, I wouldn't. I'd just deal with it. Okay, so there's my two little audio clips. The final thing that I do is, I better click save because I haven't saved this the whole time. I'm going to go into my text panel up here. I'm going to click transcript, and then I'm going to transcribe this audio section. I'm going to go here to the input and out, or the in and out sections. I'm going to click transcribe, and it's going to upload the audio, decode it, and then put it back down to me in text so that I have it and can use it as captions. So we'll wait a second for that. 3, 2, 1. No, maybe I'll speed up this part, but if not, just hang with me. We're almost done here. Hang with me, hang with me. I don't sing, but I am singing for you. Okay, here we go. All right, now we've got, sometimes you think you have a bad client, but what you really have is a bad price. Okay, so this looks good for the transcript. Now I'm going to click right here, the CC, Create Captions. I'm going to click that Create Captions, or you can do it from the Captions panel right here and click Create Captions from Transcript. I'm going to click that, and then it says, what do you want the settings to be? And I always put my minimum duration at the very bottom, 1.2. The maximum number of characters somewhere between 18 and 20 is what I do, and single line. And the reason is because a lot of people are using things, I don't even know what the little app software is for captions and stuff, but they use Veed, they use Descript and stuff, and these poppy quick captions are what I'm trying to add to keep this video hopping. So I want these to be short and just like 1, 2, 3 words, and then the next one, and then the next one, the next one. So that's why I put the minimum length in characters, or maximum length in characters, and the minimum duration here, and 0 for the gap in between. Then I'm going to click Create Captions, and now I have all my captions on my file. So I'm going to go here and deal with it. Okay, so now I'm going to select all of them at the same time, and I'm going to go and style this to match my brand. And for me, my caption style is Helvetica Now Display Extra Bold. The fill color, or the type color is black. I don't have a shadow. I have a background. My background is white. By default, the opacity on the background is 75%. I'm going to make it 100%. So there's no, so it's completely opaque. And then I'm going to go and increase my margin around. If you look at where it says with it on there, it's somewhere for me, somewhere in the early 20s. And then I'm going to go to somewhere in the 15 for rounding my corners. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to raise this up for all of it. So I selected all of them and I'm going to increase the height of that, of the caption. So my default captions are just below the square for my preview on Instagram. And I don't want them to go over the top of any of my other text. Okay, so then I zoom in and now I have to go in and make some adjustments to the captions. So this is all fine right here. Now this is fine, still fine, still fine. Can keep my captions all like this. This is all fine, but I'm going to run into a problem. Got my arrows. I'm going to run into a problem right here when I hit my 20 bucks an hour. So I'm going to adjust the caption right here and move this part down below that. So now that's good. Now we're still back. We're back to being good. Okay, here we've got the Pedro Pascal section. So I'm going to adjust where my captions start and end. And then I'm going to grab these three, and I like to do it right on the seam in between the two images. So that looks good. Now we're good again. Okay, now we got $1 million an hour. We got a problem again. So I'm going to adjust where my caption is. $1 million an hour. And I keep that up all the way to here. So I'm going to put a cut right there. And I'm going to go and grab this entire section and move it down to here. Then we're going to go a lot happier. In fact, you're probably not going to be a level 4 happy. You're probably going to be a level 5 happy because you're charging the client so much. Now, if the client, now we've got our cat section. So that I'm going to grab these three, move this up to here. It's not and then charging them blah, blah, blah. Now I got this section. So this is a little different. I handle this differently. If there's text on the bottom, like where she's saying, I just wanna, I'm just gonna move my caption down lower under me so that it's not, the way that I do the other ones, I would be moving it to here, but then I have text by text. So instead I'll move it down to here, and then that lets me annoying, keep it away from at a moderate price section. And then I think we don't have any other things. So that's it. That's it. So now I'm going to take this, save again. I'm going to export this file as into my folder for happiness and bad client, bad price, and click save, and then click export on here, and it's going to export the file. So that's the reel, and then I can take it and I send it to one of my team members, and she uploads it and she sets it all up. Okay, I saw that my camera timed out somewhere in there, so I don't know where it timed out, but you don't need me on the screen for that last part. We export the video and we're ready to go. Sometimes you think you have a bad client, but what you really have is a bad price. If you look here, we got an annoying client. They're on level 6 annoying, and they're on level 1 price. Let's say that they're super annoying and you're charging them 20 bucks an hour. Well, you're not gonna be happy, but if you see that you have an annoying client and they're level 6 annoying, but you're charging them $1 million an hour, level 6 price, you're gonna be a lot happier. In fact, you're probably not going to be a level 4 happy. You're probably going to be a level 5 happy because you're charging the client so much. Now, if the client's not annoying and you're charging them a high price, you're going to be super happy. If the client is moderately annoying at a moderate price, you're still going to be moderately happy. I have some people come to me and they say, oh, I have a super annoying client. And I ask them, would you be annoyed by this client if you were charging them $1 million an hour? And they always sit back and think, no, I wouldn't. I'd just deal with it.
So that's my process, and I create my YouTube videos and my Reels, Shorts, TikToks with that same process. Just gives you a little inside scoop on how I do it and my process throughout, and hopefully you stuck around till now. And if you didn't, come back to this video when you ever want some little inspiration on how to do it for you. All right, thanks a lot for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, drop an emoji, share with a friend, all the things that you got to do to help support the channel. I appreciate so much. All right, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon.